Before we talk Cavs, I do want to remind you guys for $1.99 a month, you become a Starters tier member of the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. It gets you loyalty badges, custom emojis, and members-only community posts. We surpassed a certain threshold. The confused G emoji is now available.
Oh, boy.
So if you got that, please drop that.
Yes,
chat.
sir.
Can we see the confused G?
I haven't seen it yet, so
The
when we see it, we'll be able to throw it
confused G
up.
is in the building. They pointed me out.
My favorite is the allegedly, where you just kind of go like, what?
Hey, they hit me. It's been a long time. They shoot all the other emojis.
Allegedly.
It's so good.
They was like, you got to get all these subscribers. I'm like, dang, shout out to y'all. We had our best day of subscribers. How many subscribers?
76.
76.
Woo!
Really?
Speaking of
In one
76.
day.
Why? Was there a reason for that?
We was winning.
I don't know,
We're
but
trying to get to 25,000, by our May 9th one-year anniversary. So
Not
hopefully the
not-
people out there
We've had more days where we've had more than 76 subscribers in one day.
in a while. No, it's biggest in a while.
Okay, because, there for a while early on, we were averaging in the hundreds a day.
well, speaking of 76, the Cavs got a big game coming up.
76ers.
Look
Yeah.
at that.
So
Look at
they-
you like that?
it was smooth. It was smooth.
I got a future in this.
You're
thing.
going places. So they just finished their road trip 3-1. That was they had back-to-backs at Miami, back-to-backs at Charlotte. They split in Miami. They beat the Hornets last night. I think last night's win was one of the more impressive wins that they've notched in a while. I know the Hornets are bad, but they did it without Donovan Mitchell. They did it without Jarrett Allen. They won 120-104. I wrote down some numbers before we talk about the importance of this Sixers game tonight. 31-8 against teams under 500.
That's good.
31-8. That's what you're
you
supposed
win
to
the ones
do.
that you're supposed to win.
Here's the troubling numbers for the Cavs. They are 13-19 when they play teams that are 500 or better. 13-19. They are 28-7 at home, one of the best home marks in the game. They are 16-20 on the road. They're 3 games ahead of the Knicks for the 4. They're 3 games behind the 76ers for the
so
3.
they're in the 4.
They're almost locked into the 4
How
at this
many
point.
games are left?
10.
They have 11 left.
11 okay. Here's the problem.
Yeah, it's locked.
They're 5 games behind Philly in the loss column.
Yeah, this Phillies played 4 less games.
Yes,
than the Cavs.
and unfortunately the Cavs in those games, they're 5 behind them in the loss column. They're not getting the 3.
Yeah.
The only
Even if
question
they win
is,
tonight, they're 2 behind them.
The only question is, are they going to play Brooklyn or the Knicks in the first round?
I think
that's really the only
that's
question.
pretty much what it boils down to. It would be nice to send a message to Philly by beating them at home tonight, and the reason I say that is if they get past their first-round opponent, be it the Knicks or the Nets, there's a good likelihood that they could see the 76ers because the 76ers aren't far behind the 2.
No, they
are
would play Milwaukee. They'd play the 1 seed.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Still, they've
man.
had some success against Milwaukee, Philly, and Boston this year. Not a lot.
But yes, to your point, Philly is 1 game back of Boston, but they're tied in the loss column for second place.
Yeah, they could end up in the 2.
Philly is behind Boston, but 1 game.
But only 1
In
game
the loss column.
No, they're even in the loss column. They're 1 game back total.
No kidding.
Oh, I thought they were 2 games behind Boston.
Nope.
Okay, well then this is bigger for Philly than
about
it is
to
for
say,
the
yeah.
Cavs.
Milwaukee's. If the Cavs win, they're going to play. If the Cavs win, they're going to play Milwaukee.
Well,
Most likely.
Well, to backtrack to yesterday,
Yeah.
the only thing I took away from yesterday's game is that Karis LeVert can make plays when he wants to. Cedi Osman comes off the bench and he is 24. So that it's there. I need to see it more consistently. It's going to have to happen in the playoffs. Those guys going to have to come off the bench and make some plays.
My fear is it's there against Charlotte.
Yes, and that's my point right there.
Against
That's
the Phillies,
exactly what it
Boston.
is.
Yeah.
Before I get to that comment, shout out to my man RT Sports Entertainment. Welcome to the coaches tier. I just saw that
There you
pop
go.
up. We appreciate you.
Nice.
Shout
Look
out
at
to
that.
you.
Explain the coaches tier. That's $4.99 a month. You get
$4.99?
exclusive content.
Oh, you get the exclusive content, the overtime. You got the emojis, all the stuff you get in the $1.99 tier. So you get all of that and our content. Now, the overtime content, I'm not gonna lie, it's dope. We answer your questions. We've been doing a series on fan questions. They've been really awesome. We're not gonna do it today because we'll be shooting a promo. However, Coaches tier will be back. And by the way, if you don't want to do Coaches tier or the $1.99 tier, you always can ball on the budget. Likes is free. Hit that like and subscribe button.
Subscribe. Absolutely.
Jetty looks good against guys like the Hornets. Okoro will look good against the middling teams like the Hawks.
He only had 3 points, though.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think yesterday's game is completely meaningless.
I agree.
They
beat a team that they should have
They
beat.
did what they're supposed to do, and you don't get points.
I know
for that.
they had guys that were out, but like without those guys, they're not beating any good teams anyway. So
No, but I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
When Golden State came in here and rested their big
don't-
quad.
Why you bring that up?
Well,
they
because
hit 23 threes.
I know, but what it shows is every win in the NBA is earned. And you take Allen and you take Mitchell out of the lineup, and you're on the road. That's a hold your breath game to me, and
Yeah.
and it was never close.
my only thought about the Cavs for the next 4 weeks is don't get anybody hurt.
Exactly.
Be healthy going to the playoffs. I don't really care that much. Yeah, I'd like them to win most of their remaining games and play pretty well.
This would be
but just stay healthy for the next few weeks till the playoffs.
This
That's
is
all that
like
matters.
a feather in your cap, though. If you beat Philly tonight,
yeah.
that gives you confidence
they're
when
la-
you have to go
And
against
I think
Milwaukee.
50 wins would be an accomplishment. I mean, they haven't won 50 without LeBron in 30 years. So
What we at 44?
I think.
Yeah, 44.
45, I think.
I think it's bigger.
44.
Than, I think it's
44,
bigger than
right.
we let
They got to
on.
go 6 and 5.
I think it's bigger than we let on these last few games because you're getting games right now where, for young players, I remember being being younger. you half the time you don't really get it. Your coaches is telling you stuff, and then you'll go into a game and all of a sudden you have this really good game and you don't really know as a young player why. You're like, but I've been practicing hard. I've been playing hard. Something just goes off where you understand it at a different level. You're like, oh. So if I do this, I can make some plays. Like, okay, cool. Now, Evan Mobley, for me, is a guy that he can, when you got a kid, they say kids grow leaps and bounds from the time they're like 2 years old to like 3 years old. Like they can talk, they can walk, they got all this other stuff.
Right.
For Mobley's game, I saw a lot of things that I like that he's been developing over the course of the season. 26 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. But it's not the fact that he's just doing it on that end. He's been dynamic defensively, but he's now starting to put together back to the basket, jump hooks. I love how he pump fakes around. Like, he's not a guy, usually bigs can get stripped. Usually bigs will lose the ball when they get the ball in space or got to put it down 1 or 2 times. He's doing a good job of pump faking, and he's dunking everything moving. So I think that he's growing leaps and bounds, and that confidence translates. Especially when you're playing against a guy like Embiid and he's playing hard, you could go back and say, Evan, if it's game 3 of a playoff, listen, let me show you what you did against him.
Sure,
Let me ask you a question. Is Evan Mobley better without Jared Allen on the
Yeah.
team?
Yeah.
So do you think
Yeah.
those two, to win a championship, can those two coexist?
Yeah, if you got the right coach, because the right coach has to stagger the minutes. Those staggered minutes.
So you wouldn't have them on at the same time?
Defensive,
You can, but not all the time.
Defensively, they are much better. Offensively, his game is not as good when he's on the court with Jared Allen, in my opinion. McNuggets?
They can play together defensively. The issue offensively is neither can shoot. Until Mobley develops that three-point shot, you can't play them together to win a championship.
Yeah.
Flat out.
But
I agree
McNuggets
with
told me that now that Karl Anthony Towns is hurt, Minnesota Timberwolves is unbelievable right now. That's what he said.
Well, the metrics be showing you. Like, he could be getting a lot of points, but unless you spreading the floor, because now you think about it. When Mobley's getting the ball down low, there's nobody else around. So now you can't I can't sag off Jared Allen and come and foul you and do things like that, because that's what they're going to do in the playoffs. But now, because he's empty, he can throw his jump hook. He can pass really well. The court is just more open when you got both of them out there. And I just, defensively, they're awesome.
Well, let me take you back to before the season started, because I had put this tweet out that said that I would trade Jared Allen and my picks for LeBron James, and I got scolded all on Twitter. And people told me I was absurd for trading Jared Allen for LeBron James.
Those people were idiots.
In life,
I might have been one of those people.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I think you was the one that said it too.
Then I'm an idiot.
in life, people love upside, right? People love, because upside is exponentially possible. Like, if somebody says, I can give you a lottery ticket, it's a scratch off, right? And it's up to $900 billion you can win. And you're like, oh, it's up to $900. They'll take that scratch off over $20.
That's
You a dummy.
true. That's,
No, you're not a dummy for that.
you're not a dummy.
That's a
but
bad
that
example.
is
Give
That's a
me the
bad
$20.
example.
Well, it's a bird in the hand
I
versus
would
one in the bush.
That's $20.
What you mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
If you would have said 500, I would have said all right.
I know,
I
but the
definitely would have
likelihood-
took the 900 million.
it's an odds play, and the likelihood
Right,
of you
but 20
winning
bucks,
more
who
than
cares? It's $20.
I know,
gonna take
but
For most people, $20 doesn't matter.
they're going to roll the dice because it's the truth or consequences game that you guys are probably way too young to remember. You might remember it, where they would bring out something and they would show you, hey, you can have this beautiful barbecue grill, or you can have what's behind door number three.
Yeah.
And the crowd is going, go for it! And they open up door number 3 and it's a chicken.
Yeah, right.
And then, or they say no,
Yeah.
and they open up door number 3 and it's a new car.
Yeah, right,
So
right.
but what you're doing is you're playing the odds.
Playing the odds.
And the smart play on the scratch is take the money.
Not for
because
$20.
there are-
500,
I'm
I'm
about to
with
say 500. I'm with you.
There are
100.
far
I'm with
fewer
you. $20. I'm down.
winning
I'm
tickets
rolling
over
it.
$20 than there are winning tickets.
I know that, but at $20, it's worth taking the risk.
So you'll just take the loss
Yes.
on that.
Yeah.
A lot of people will. That's the way we're wired.
But there's a lot of people that would pass on like 1,000 even.
No.
Now, I
Yeah,
wouldn't do
wouldn't.
that.
No.
I would.
But a lot of people would.
Yeah.
McNuggets?
Is Jared Allen a $100 bill or a $100 lottery ticket though? Because he's played in the league for 7 years.
Yeah, we know what he is at
The
this
Yeah, he's
upside,
not
I'm
a lot.
sure he's
There's
full
no
of
more
upside.
upside from him.
Yeah.
He
Now,
is what
Evan
he is.
Mobley to me is
A
the
lottery
question
ticket.
mark. He's the question mark, and I'm going to keep that lottery ticket. But Jared Allen, we know what he is,
He's
and we
And
know
he's an important part of the team. He's a,
Yes.
he's a leader. He's an
Yes.
energy guy for
he
them.
is an energy guy. I love
But
his.
yeah, if you could turn him into a better fitting superstar, then
or if you
obviously-
just turn him into a wing, like you could
Yeah.
play a
You
center.
package
that's a,
him up in the wing.
You
dude?
could play a center that's a stiff, right?
Robert Lopez?
Hey, listen, we went to.
Let's not get crazy.
I mean, we went to the
I'm
finals.
just saying.
We went to the finals with Timothy Mozgov, and he was like,
He was supposed to be that guy though. He was a 7-footer, so he
Timothy.
just him in the way.
Hey, we thought we had something.
Yeah,
Boy, we think we'd be overestimating
What
a
to
lot.
put
man.
it, to put a nail in this 76er and Cav talk. Basically, to me, what I'm looking for is how the bench players play. I need to
Right.
see Karras and I need to see Seti come off the bench and make these plays.
And do it
I'm
against a good
assuming
team.
that Donovan and Allen is playing tonight.
And Dean, during these games, I would be making a decision. I need to find out if what's his name can play. Danny Green can play anymore.
Yeah.
I need to understand.
Has he played?
Nah. He has
Obviously,
not
they
gotten
don't
no-
think he can play.
Obviously, I need to see Danny
Oh,
Green.
true or false? I forgot about
I
true or
need to
false.
decide whether Stevens or Okoro is going to play because you can't play both. I'm sorry. I can't split the minutes between two guys who can't shoot. We're only going to do that once. I'm leaning towards Stevens right now, and I don't think I think Brook Lopez is a guy that is washed too. I mean, he
That's
can't.
not a bold
Brooke,
statement.
Lo-
right there.
No.
you mean Robin?
Robert,
Lopez.
yeah,
Yeah,
Robert.
you give me Brooke.
Don't
You give me Brooke.
We got the scrubby Lopez.
Yeah, the other Lopez, Mario Lopez,
George Lopez.
Would Mario Lopez? Would
Who you want, George or Mario Lopez on your basketball team?
Man, give me Mario.